Hey everybody, this is Alex Hayter from Tornbanner Studios with another community update about the development of Mirage Arcane Warfare, the new game from our studio coming out in 2016. So today we're going to be talking about gore and magic and violence, and thankfully I'm joined today by two people responsible for that stuff. So this is Brandon.
I'm Brandon Phoenix. I'm the technical artist and environment artist here at Tornbanner Studios.
And Darin.
And I'm Darin Walsh. I'm the FX artist and UI artist here at Tornbanner.
Yeah, so pretty soon we'll be releasing a behind-the-scenes video detailing all about the gore and why Mirage is such a bloody and gory and magical game. So today will serve as a bit of a teaser for that. So yeah, there's lots of blood and gore and magic in this game. So Brandon, do we have you to blame for the blood?
Partially, not the amount of it. That's probably more Darin. He actually made the size of it, but I implemented it. So
yeah, I think I got a bit carried away at the start of the blood stuff. Like some of the initial processes, it was just fountains of it. Had to scale it back a little bit, unfortunately.
Yeah, the game has to run, so
yeah,
it's my job to tell you no.
To scale it back a bit.
Yeah, just to pull it back a bit.
So despite you trying to scale it back or keep it sane. What's the point of having all this blood and gore in Mirage?
Yeah, we're still in good shape with the amount that we have. I don't want to overstate that. Yeah, so I mean, the real core of it is that we're really trying to tell the story of the combat. Everything in Mirage is about that, really. The way that the combat flows, the way that you interact with people and you do this exchange-based sort of thing, all of that comes down to kind of the story you're telling through your encounter, and the blood is there to support all of that. So you know when you've hurt somebody and they're wounded, and you are going to try and take advantage of that fact, or they're going to try and bait you into something. If you come into a combat encounter late, you'll know exactly where everybody stands in that fight. If you come in really late and there's just a pile of corpses, you'll know exactly what happened in that case. Yeah, so it's really there to tell the story and to support the fundamentals of the gameplay. So.
Right. Cool. So Darin, a lot of the magical effects is what you've been focusing a lot on. So what do you think, what stands out about the magic in Mirage versus other games? What's unique about it?
I think what we always wanted to do is something physical with it. So, like other games, they tend to do like this really light fairy type magic where it does damage, but it doesn't really feel like it's doing damage. Whereas ours, we wanted it physical. Like one of our favorite abilities is the boulder toss, and that thing, when it hits someone, it feels like a freight train hitting someone. It feels physical, and that's what we try to accomplish with all our spells. We want to have something reactable and something that you can block and has a physical presence in the world, that has something that isn't just like fairy dust or something. Like it has to make sense in the world, and it feels like it has a purpose there.
Mm-hmm. That was also sort of fundamental to where we started with Mirage. That was one of the things that kind of kicked the whole project off, was that we wanted, we'd done melee in a way that we were really satisfied with, and it had that weight that we hadn't seen in other games. And then part of the pre-production for Mirage, we kind of narrowed down on the idea that magic is similar. It's like a very weightless, kind of like floaty, kind of feels like you're singeing people, but you're not really, damaging them. And we really wanted to bring the sort of the Tornbanner-ness to that. So. Yeah,
I mean, and the magic and the melee combat, like in terms of actual gameplay, are an interconnected system. And what I feel like with the effects, what that does, it brings that cohesion between magic and melee, where it feels like when you're throwing a spell at someone, you're throwing something physical and dangerous at them, and not just a pew-pew like fairy dust.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we definitely want to meld that, like, you're in the middle of a combo with your swords, and then you throw something physical out with it, and that has, like, a really cool visceral feel to it.
Yeah. Another cool thing about Mirage is that the 6 different character classes that you can play as all have a unique personality to their magic, right? So they've got a different magical aesthetic. Maybe you could speak about some of those.
Yeah, absolutely. So we try to develop like a characterization for each character. Like they have a look to them, and as soon as you see them, you're like, oh, okay, that person is this type of character. So with our Torrent, he's like a big guy. He's got a giant 2-handed mace. He's the biggest character in the game. So with him, I wanted to give something heavy. Like he's a big dude. Like his spells should be heavy. So all his spells are more rocky themed. So they've got like this lava, like boulder-esque qualities to all of them, and he has like this very physical, demanding feeling to all of his spells. Whereas someone like the Vigilus, who is very tough and she's very tanky, so she has a shield. We wanted to do something different where she has like crystals. Like crystals, when I see a crystal, I think like, oh, that's a hard surface. It's tough. Like it can take a lot of damage before it breaks. So that's kind of like why we wanted to do like more of like that type of look for her spells.
Right. So I mean, it signifies something about the characters, but it's also cool because if you see a bunch of rocky magic going past you, that signifies to you that there's a Torn around the corner, and so I should know how to prepare for that encounter before I've even seen the character in some examples.
You do often see the boulder before the Torrent.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases.
Yeah. The boulder often announces the arrival of the Torn.
It just comes bouncing down the stairs.
Yeah. Awesome. So one place that we saw a lot of blood and violence and magic was the show floor at PAX East, specifically at the Mirage booth. So we got a lot of people playing the game, which was awesome, and people coming up had a lot of the same questions for us. So I wanted to basically pose those questions to these two guys for them to answer for you today. So Brandon, if I've played Chivalry before, will I be good at Mirage?
Yeah, you'll definitely at the base level you'll be there. You'll get your foot in the door. You'll be all right. When it comes to that sort of face-to-face, moment-to-moment melee, but you're going to kind of find that people are going to be able to surprise you in ways that you wouldn't expect from just going from Chivalry. So a lot of our abilities are going to kind of enable that sort of play. It's really going to shake up the way that Chivalry feels. But at the sort of core level, you'll be able to compete for sure.
Yeah, awesome. And Darin, is there a scream button in Mirage?
Absolutely. Like it wouldn't be a Torn Banner game if it didn't have a scream button. Of course. Like that stuff is awesome, and we put so much more work into it this time where. We have like custom animations for every class for when they do their scream. We've got new to our games are like female actors for female characters. So it's an added element to it that sounds awesome when you hear like the Vigilus screaming her lungs out and it running into battle.
Yeah, this is a game you're gonna want to wear headphones for, basically, when you're playing. Just,
absolutely.
Unless you don't mind, bothering your family or your neighbors with this constant screaming.
Freaking them out a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
In other news, we'll be at the PC Gaming Show at E3 in just under a month's time. So we'll have Steve Piggott here from Torn Banner talking about Mirage and showing off some exclusive new gameplay footage. So be sure to check that out. We've also got the Steam store page for Mirage Arcane Warfare up, so you can wishlist the game there. You can also follow the Steam community, so you'll get any updates about Mirage right on there, straight to your Steam account. Speaking of which, you'll get updates about when the beta begins, and we keep getting asked this, and the beta will be coming soon. We're planning for midsummer for that, and we'll have a lot more information. Just stay tuned to our Twitter, our Facebook, our website, MirageArcaneWarfare.com, and the new Mirage Steam community for all that. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you guys again soon about Mirage.